Καλησπέρα και από μένα. Θέλω να σας καλωσορίσω και εγώ στο σημερινό event. Έχουμε πάει λίγο πίσω με τους χρόνους, οπότε θα προσπαθήσω να μην ξοδέψω πολύ. Ποιο είναι το θέμα? Η καινούρια σειρά ομιλιών, η οποία ξεκίνησε τώρα, είναι η απόδειξη ότι η Ελλάδα, παρά τα προβλήματα, έχει φέρει και μια καινούρια γενιά επιχειρηματιών. Και έχει καταφέρει να συγκαταλέγεται ανάμεσα στις πολύ σημαντικές χώρες που προάγουν την επιχειρηματικότητα. Μπορεί να μην είναι πρωτεύουσα των startups, αλλά σίγουρα είναι συμπρωτεύουσα. Όλα αυτά είναι κατηγορίες και στο χέρι μας είναι να την αλλάξουμε. Προτού πάω όμως εκεί, θα ήθελα να σταθώ σε ένα κομμάτι της ομιλίας του Νίκου. Ποιο ήταν αυτό? Ότι πρέπει να κυνηγάμε τα όνειρά μας. Κάπως έτσι, πριν μερικούς μήνες, αποφασίσαμε κι εμείς, σαν Fortune, να κυνηγήσουμε το δικό μας όνειρο. Τον βασικό μας στόχο, ο οποίος δεν ήταν άλλος από το να ενώσουμε τους κρίκους του οικοσυστήματος και να καταφέρουμε να τους φέρουμε όλους κάτω από την ίδια στέγη. Όπως καταλαβαίνετε, δεν θα μπορούσαμε να το κάνουμε αυτό χωρίς συνέργειες. Σύμμαχο σε αυτή την προσπάθεια είχαμε την ομάδα των Industry και φυσικά την Παπαστράτος. Σήμερα αποδεικνύουμε ότι μια ομάδα και μια καλή ομάδα, όπως θέλουμε να πιστεύουμε ότι είμαστε, πετυχαίνει τους στόχους της. Τέτοιες ομάδες είναι και αυτές που θα δούμε σε λίγο πάνω. Ομάδες οι οποίες έχουν καταφέρει να είναι σήμερα οι εκπρόσωποι της νεανικής επιχειρηματικότητας και μάλιστα να αποτελούν παράδειγμα και για τους επόμενους. Είναι άνθρωποι οι οποίοι μέσα από τη σκληρή τους δουλειά κατάφεραν συν της άλλης να κερδίσουν και μία θέση στη δική μας λίστα. Να σας πω επίσης ότι είναι άνθρωποι οι οποίοι έχουν βγει και εκτός συνόρων και ήδη έχουν κάνει τα πρώτα τους βήματα στο εξωτερικό. Είναι πολύ σημαντικό να σας πω ότι ξέρω ότι αρκετοί θεωρείτε ότι το ελληνικό οικοσύστημα είναι ανώριμο ακόμα. Θα συμφωνήσω, αλλά υπάρχει και ένας άλλος παράγοντας αυτό. Οι πόροι είναι λίγο περιορισμένοι, θα έλεγα. Παρ' όλα αυτά, το 2016, οι εταιρείες με ελληνική καταγωγή σήκωσαν πάνω από $78 εκατομμύρια. Αυτός δεν είναι ένας μικρός αριθμός. Και σίγουρα δεν είναι και κάτι εύκολο. Μπορείτε να ρωτήσετε έναν επιχειρηματία, έναν επενδυτή δίπλα σας, είναι πολύ ευτυχώς σήμερα εδώ και θα σας πούν ακριβώς το ίδιο. Αυτά και άλλα πολλά θα σας πούνε και αυτοί οι άνθρωποι που θα έρθουν και θα μιλήσουν. Λοιπόν, να φωνάξω την Natali Levi από την Nannuka, τον Κώστα το Σαριδάκη από τη Teta, τον Ανδρέα το Γραμμάτι από το Douleutaras, τον Αλέξανδρο τον Τρίμη από το Welcome και την Αλεξία Tsotsis, η οποία ήρθε από την Αμερική για να συντονίσει το πάνελ.
Καλησπέρα. Κάτσε να πάω την καρέκλα λίγο πιο κοντά, γιατί είμαι λίγο απομακρυμένη. Θα κάνουμε λίγο αλλαγή γλώσσας. Θα μιλήσουμε στα αγγλικά, στη γλώσσα των startups, γιατί όλες αυτές οι εταιρείες εδώ πάνω έχουν φιλοδοξίες να απευθύνονται σε διεθνής κοινό, να είναι παγκόσμιες. So, welcome. Welcome.
Hello. Good to see you.
Can you tell me a little bit about what each of your companies do?
Okay, so I'm Natali Levi. I'm co-founder of Nannuka. Nannuka is an online service which helps parents find trustworthy carers in their neighborhood. We have managed, the story started back in 2014, where three mompreneurs, as we like to call ourselves, found a need, or actually our need, to find a trustworthy babysitter for our kids. It wasn't easy. There are not such services here in Greece, and we wanted to put an online service with good procedures and validations, so every parent feels safe to find the babysitter, the carer, the educator, and nowadays the elder care online.
Wonderful.
Hello, I'm Kostas Saridakis. I'm the co-founder of Untitled.gr. We are a marketplace that connects diners with restaurants. We help diners discover new restaurants and make their booking online with exclusive benefits and discounts. and at the same time, we help restaurants to promote their business online at minimum cost. Up to date, we have more than 1,700 restaurants across the biggest cities in Greece and Cyprus, and we have already served more than 300,000 customers.
Hello there. My name is Andreas, co-founder in Douleutaras. Basically, we help people find the right professional for any service they might need. So, for example, a cleaner, a plumber, electrician, a painter, anything you might need for your home especially, you can find it through our service. We receive about 10 to 15,000 requests every month, and we have about 3,500 registered professionals.
Hi, my name is Alexandros Trimis. I'm from Welcome, welcomepickups.com. Welcome takes care of the actual in-travel experience from the time you land somewhere to the time you leave. We provide the friendliest, most personalized transfers from the airports or ports, provide products that you are going to need, like a SIM card or your museum tickets or a Wi-Fi hotspot the moment you arrive. And we provide things to do during your stay, like personalized tours, walking tours, and stuff like that. It's our third year. We will welcome 200,000 people in 2017. We are in 9 destinations: Paris, Rome, Barcelona, Madrid, and many in Greece. We will do around 800K in net revenue for 2017, and we're growing by 4x. And we plan to be launching 2 destinations per month in the following months.
So how did you all get into startups? Why not go into the public sector or get a 7th degree at Polytechnio? Why not still be in school or do something a little bit more conventional? What drove you to this kind of unconventional industry?
Actually, in our case, it's our need, because we want to create this service to serve ourselves. So I was unemployed. It was back in 2014 that I was made redundant from an advertising company back in London. And I want to come back and create my own business. So instead of trying to become just another employee in another company, multinational company, I want to create my big dream and create the service that I always dreamed of.
For me and my co-founder, we had a great job at a big multinational corporation, but when the crisis began and we saw that the economy was slowing down, we were not satisfied with our day-to-day, and we wanted always, to launch our new business, to have our own company and do something different. And that's why we took the decision to quit our jobs and start a table, simply as that.
Right. For me, I think it was mainly 3 things. So basically, I always liked autonomy, working with teams, and solving problems. So I think the best job to enjoy all 3 is by running sort of your own company or co-running it. So, when I had to decide whether to leave London to come to start Douleutaras, it seemed like the right option for me, even though it didn't seem like the right option for many other people that knew me. But yeah, it has been proven the right one so far.
So the question is why we became...
Yeah, how did you get into startups?
Oh, yeah. I don't think I could be any good at a big company, and it was an internal drive. I've tried a lot of times and failed, and Welcome is something that now is actually successful, and we're really happy to see it grow.
So all of you are still sort of in the struggle of success with your companies, but probably to the people in the audience, it seems like you've made it. You're 40 under 40, you're on the list, you have funding. What advice do you have for the entrepreneurs in the audience that have none of this, but want to eventually be where you are today? Sitting on a panel, speaking in English.
Actually, this is a success, definitely is a success for us. I would never dream myself being in such a great place, talking about a story that started back three years ago. The journey wasn't always so good, so great. I remember myself a lot of times crying, as I'm a woman, I'm crying, saying, I have enough, I don't know why I've done that, I just don't know what to do. And sometimes even I started taking some decisions by playing rock, paper, scissors, to say, okay, I'm gonna do that, or no, I'm not gonna do that. I didn't have all the questions, I don't have still all the questions. For sure, it's an experience to me, I've learned a lot. I'm more ready to take more serious decisions, and as the company grows bigger, I feel more confident of being part of it. So I would definitely recommend that you have to have a strong stomach, a good husband, and,
or wife.
and good partners, a great team that will always support you. Even in the great, because it's always great when you have good numbers and you have the greatest product, it's always a happiness. But when it's not, you have to have people next to you to support you with that.
Kostas?
Okay, so my advice to young entrepreneurs would be to definitely go for it. It's a great journey. You have two options. Either you succeed, which is great, or you might fail, which can be even greater, because you will learn so much things, so many things, and believe me, you will get yourself to another level. So, with no doubt, go for it. Just believe in yourself, believe in your teammates, and get ready for hard work.
Well, for me, first of all, in Douleutaras, certainly we don't feel we have made it or that we are successful. The way we see it is that we're still alive and on track. In terms of advice, like Nikos said earlier, I think it's incredibly difficult to be on this journey. I think it's much more difficult than most people actually realize, and definitely much more difficult than I realized at the time before I started. So I think if the primary force is making money, then becoming an entrepreneur is not a good idea. There's much better solutions. But if the driving force is something else, like solving a problem or working with teams or having autonomy, and you really feel strongly about it, regardless of what anyone else thinks, and you want to see it through, then go for it. But if it's for anything else, like fame or money, then just look for another option. I think there are much better ideas.
Also, the level of success we want, we haven't achieved yet, so we are not I don't consider myself successful yet. But like to younger people who want to follow that path, I would say that you need a couple of things, like a good team, money, a good distribution model, a good product, and a bit of luck to succeed. Not all of these come together at the same time. You might get one thing now, the other thing in the next 6 months. So it's all about perseverance, and it's better to not have them at the first step, because then you need a lot of perseverance to succeed at the end, and if you have all the things in the start, then you're not ready for the tough times. So a lot of perseverance, and stick to your guns, and always hear advice, but try to succeed and fulfill your dream.
So being an entrepreneur around the world is hard. It's hard if you live in San Francisco. It's hard if you live in Lagos. It's hard if you live in Tel Aviv. Is there any ways that being in Greece makes it easier? Or harder? Harder? Easier? You guys don't have to go in order. It's not like a class.
Women's.
I mean, for me, living in Greece is great. I mean, having lived in London for 10 years and experienced sort of many, not difficulties, but challenges, living in Greece is like paradise for me. So working and doing what I love in the country that I love is ideal. And I think Greece, regardless of all the negatives that are happening, also has a lot of things to offer, especially to us Greeks. So I think we should appreciate that idea.
I think that, especially at the early levels of when you're starting a company, it's good to be in Greece because you don't have a high burn. You don't burn a lot of money really fast, which is something you would do in San Francisco. So you have enough time to pivot and find your model. So whereas like if you have high burn, like you can burn too fast and never have the time to succeed. Because at the end of the day, it's a matter of time to find the niche that you're going to attack the market. So lower, cheaper labor, more time, and a good sandbox for us that we are in tourism to play and learn a lot in Greece.
You actually started your company in Silicon Valley and moved back. How did you make the decision to move back? That was pretty brave.
So we started the previous company, Dopios, in San Francisco. It's not ideal anywhere. In San Francisco, we were 4 foreigners, 3 Greeks and 1 Indian, and we all needed US visas, which was not easy. Everyone was well employed at Google, Eventbrite, and good startups, so it was hard to leave the US and try to succeed. It was a matter of incidents and coincidence that I was here and we raised from here and we did it here. But at the end, it worked out really well.
Are there any unique challenges? I know you have a very interesting story.
The challenges are that I totally agree that it's a great start to start from Greece, but the market is pretty small. That's the only barrier that I can see, that in order to reach the numbers that investors want, they want to see that you can scale up and go to a bigger market and triple your numbers. Said that, the partnerships and the cooperations and all the support that we have from incentives like this one, perhaps in another country wouldn't be so easy to gain. It's a smaller country that has people with big hearts, and whenever you would need help, you can just call your partner or call your... We talk to each other, we share knowledge. It's really important. I don't know how these things work abroad. There's much more competition.
We all hate each other.
Yeah, there's much
We're all
more competition. And whereas here there is partnerships, there are a lot of things that we can do all together.
Yes, I fully agree with all you guys. Indeed, there are many challenges here in Greece, especially before launching, trying to launch your startup, to find capital, to establish your business. But on the other hand, as soon as you manage to do that, as soon as you get your first funding, then it might be easier to scale because you don't have intense competition. Other domestically, because not many teams manage to raise money, and also from abroad because due to the crisis, foreign teams don't look Greece as as an opportunity, and that's why this is your chance to to win the market. So yes, there are challenges, but on the other hand, you have some pros as well.
So how do you get your first funding? Are you just calling up Nikos or emailing Nikos on LinkedIn? Or are there groups here that, like Venture Friends or Marathon, that you're working with? Or are you looking towards Silicon Valley primarily? Like when you're the woman in the audience that wants to start something amazing, or the man in the audience that wants to start something amazing, and you need cash, where are you getting the cash? ATM?
Lottery.
How do you do it?
How we started. We started by being part of the ecosystems, meaning that we try to participate in every event, try to approach every person that could help us out, and pitch at every moment that we could find, the perfect person. A lot of talking, a lot of networking, and being there when it's actually the good timing. It's everything about good timing to me. For example, you may have a great idea and not be there when you should have been there. So in our case, we were in the correct location, in the correct event, pitching at the correct investor that wanted to do had the same idea with us, and he finally found a team to make it real.
So luck.
Okay.
Persistence and luck, something between the two.
I think in the early stages, if you're starting something, the most important is the team and how willing you are to go the extra mile, and the investor can see in your eye that you are there to make it, and to have a good idea and to be open to feedback and be able to translate that feedback to something valuable. And not all money, not all VCs are smart, so that because someone doesn't give money doesn't mean that your idea is not good. He might not get it, he might not understand it. So, not all VCs have the same level of understanding for all verticals. So don't give up. Find the right match, because that person will be your mate, the person who will come, and you need to build a long relationship with, in the next 5-10 years. So be very careful. And make sure that you find the right person and understands you and can support you, especially in the tough times.
Okay, you said about luck. In our case, we were luck as well, but luck can be defined as opportunity that meets preparation, and this is what happened in our case. We bootstrapped our first product, and when we realized that we needed money to go on, we just started pitching, and during our first pitch, actually, we found an angel investor who wanted to do the same thing, and at that time, he was talking with other teams about launching an online reservation website. And because we had already the product online, he chose to invest in our case.
Our first round came through when Greece was going through capital controls in 2015. But it proved out to be a positive thing because it showed the confidence that the investors had in our product at the time. In terms of advice, if that was also the question. Was the question also any advice for raising money? Or?
Yeah, how do you...
Yeah. So I think when someone is venturing in a company, the most important resource that he's investing is his time, our personal time. That is limited by definition. So in my opinion, it's always better if you can to sort of try and bootstrap your product, like the guys in eTable did, and like we did in the first 6 months. Because only then you actually realize and you see whether what you have in mind can also translate into something useful for users. So that would be my most important advice.
Do you have any investor horror stories? I now, on the other side, after being a journalist, I'm in a situation where I'm pitching people, and it's a lot of rejection. I don't think people realize how many no's you get. It's 10 no's for every yes. Do you have any situations where you were running out of money, needed to pay the insurance?
Every day.
What do you do in those situations that's legal?
The rejection is part of our life, to be honest. It's been, in the beginning, the first time that I was rejected, I needed a psychologist. It wasn't easy to me to be rejected. And then many others followed, and then it became a reality that only few will accept you. And this doesn't mean that your product is not good or you're not good. It means that they have also other priorities, or it's not a good timing to proceed. In our case, the funny, if I may say, some funny stories that occurred in our case had to do with the fact that we were 3 women trying to raise money from men investors. That wasn't easy, especially in the Greek society. The reason, it's not about the capabilities that a woman has, it's more an entrepreneur that has. So they were they were thinking about the sacrifices that an investor, a founder has to commit, and whether a mother can do both of them. And I'm really happy for the ones that supported me to give them that we are the example that you can do both of them, especially when you're persistent and you're a hard worker. So the question that it was raised in a meeting was, okay, you're thinking that you're going to scale up your business. Are you going to move there? How your children will, in which school your children will go? And I was like, it's none of your business. It's like, I will find the solution, I will do it, believe in me, and I can show you the way. So the stories are plenty. Perhaps we will write a book someday and describe all the funny stories of the Greek society.
I mean, the irony is that your product is a childcare product, so you could just say,
use my product in order to move it.
Funny that you asked that, old male investor. You guys? Guys? It's hard to be a guy, right?
Hard times. About hard times, correct. Well, they say that when you feel you want to quit, you are very close. You are actually closer than you think. And I'm lucky I read these lines because probably I would have quit my job in many cases. Yes, indeed, there are many hard times and good times, and vice versa. You really have to manage that changing, feeling every day, because problems always arise when you feel you have your funding and everything goes well, and something then a key employee quits suddenly. So you just have to keep with all this uncertainty, and this is what you gain from a startup: the ability to manage uncertainty and make it into a profitable business.
Yeah, I think I haven't met any entrepreneur who has kind of made it and hasn't gone through extremely tough times. And because it happens, and it happens often, I think the most important thing is to manage yourself, because it's how you respond to these situations when they come and when they arise that defines how well the company will do. So, I think there's no way you can avoid them, but there is a way to manage them.
One advice is start early. Don't leave to hear your nose like 1 month before you run out of money. We stayed without money for two times, and understand that there is a different sense of urgency for you when you have to pay 10 people, and a different sense of urgency from the VC side who doesn't care that much. So, and also make sure that the first partners are very, you have very good relationships, so in the tough times they can support you in the right way.
Thank you. So you mentioned earlier that you don't consider yourself, or us, or the general group, that successful yet. So what does big success look like to you? Is it being in Silicon Valley? Is it being a global brand like an Airbnb or an Uber? What is the milestone or the KPI that to you will mean that you have actually made it?
For us, is we are changing the way you travel and you experience a destination. So it's when you travel to have welcome in mind, that's going to be success. Like having the idea that the brand in your mind when you're traveling, and you can build a global brand that everybody uses. That's the real success. Regional success is good, local success is good, but global success is something that you aim for when you start a startup.
I believe that there are small steps of success, because every day that the business has, we have 250% increase compared to last year, which is a fantastic growth to us. This is a success. The fact that we have a team of 15 people, this is a success, and we manage it. The ultimate success to us is to become a really huge brand related to family, and then the ultimate success is to the exit. which can come from everywhere. We are working towards this direction, for sure.
What is a good exit? Like 40 million, a taxi beat exit, a workable exit? What's hundreds of millions, a billion?
When the offer comes, I will tell you. But it's compared to when it will come.
In our case, I think I will consider my business successful when our service becomes a habit in the markets that we operate. And by habit, I mean that a large number of customers, of consumers, use on a daily basis our service, and they are fully happy, fully satisfied, and become loyal and repeat customers.
In my opinion, like the guy said, business successful is when it achieves the purpose it started for. So in our case, we started trying to solve the problem, trying to make it easy for people to find a professional and get their job done. And while we help them a lot with the first part, finding him, there's still a lot of problems that we don't solve, and it's our ambition to try and solve them. And from a business point of view, of course, since we're all venture-backed and we operate to make money, an exit is success, or a profitable business with significant profit is also a success, in my opinion.
Can I add something?
Yeah, of course.
It's that sometimes the speed that we are running in our daily life doesn't let us leave the success. So perhaps sometimes when something happens, we say, wow, fantastic, okay, let's see that. So what I'm trying to remind myself and my partners is that every small step that we take, we need to live and breathe.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, because nobody gave it to me. I have worked hard to gain this. And I have to say, congratulations to the team. I have to say congratulations to myself sometimes and appreciate it, because nothing is given.
One last quick question, or you want to say something? Can it be quick?
No, like it's company success and personal success, and I think all of us here feel the personal success, which is to wake up, go somewhere, work with the people you want to work, do something that you love, solve a problem that's interesting to you. So that's, everyday success.
So one last quick question. Would you start your next company in Greece knowing what you didn't know? Quick, yes or no? Yes or no? What?
I would.
You would?
I would as well. I think for the early stages, it's easy to. It's not so difficult to start a business here, because you don't worry so much for profits. When you start a business, you have to focus on the product and on setting the team. So yes, I would form my team here in Greece, and maybe when at scaling, I would consider moving abroad.
I hope. Teams are getting so distributed, and you can work from anywhere. So starting a company from somewhere might not be something that matter at the point. It's important to be in Silicon Valley or other centers for funding and networking, but you can be anywhere in the world and start something.
Working remotely.
I would like to work with Greek minds, because they have a lot of great ideas. Perhaps in a different infrastructure, but it would be like a combination. It could be, a combination of different countries with different minds. But Greece has a lot to give to the people, and if we work all together, definitely the future is promising.
I agree. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much.
Έχω καταφέρει αρκετά πράγματα στην καριέρα μου, τώρα νιώθω ότι πρέπει να σπιντάρω κι άλλο. Δεν ξέρω για σας, εγώ κάθε φορά που ακούω αυτούς τους ανθρώπους και τους έχω ακούσει ξανά και ξανά, κάθε φορά μαθαίνω κάτι καινούριο. Λοιπόν, θέλω να φωνάξω ξανά στη σκηνή το Μιχάλη τον Στάγκο. Μιχάλη. Λοιπόν, και να περάσουμε σιγά σιγά στον βασικό μας ομιλητή και φυσικά στον διαγωνισμό.